All right, let's begin the show then by talking about esports because that sure is booming and how the likes of Riot Games, Jet Synthesis, Reliance Digital all are investing big to take the online gaming world offline. Now, these are championships that have primarily been held on YouTube or streaming platforms, but now it's being held in stadiums just like physical sports. In fact, as per market estimates, the 2023 organizers disbursed a cumulative prize pool of close to 30 to 35 crore rupees in offline tournaments, which has been the biggest in India's e-gaming history. So how much bigger is it expected to get? We've got Karthik Sabharwal, is the founder at Upthrust Esports, joining in on the show, as well as Sean Yunel-son, CEO at Krafton India. Good to have you both, gentlemen. Thanks so much for joining in. Karthik, to begin with, let's just talk about the prize money disbursements. 30 to 35 crores this year. Clearly, it seems like these events are growing in reach, scale, and obviously organizers will remain very upbeat. What has the growth been like?
So basically, Indian esports has seen a tremendous growth since 2018. After BGMI came into play, and there are multiple organizers who are putting lots and lots of efforts, including the officials, to like grow grow Indian esports industry and to build new and new IPs together and scale them up. Last year, the prize pool surpassed, as you said, around 30 to 35 CR, and this year, many of the tournament organizers and official events are planning to scale it up to 60 to 70 CR. So there is a tremendous growth since last 4 to 5 years, and not just in terms of price pool, but in terms of viewership as well. Viewership in BGMI and esports is growing day by day, and there are it's 100K CCV is achievable nowadays in esports, which no one thought of. And brands are also showing interest to invest in esports nowadays.
Sean, let's get in your take as well in terms of how Krafton is really looking to capitalize and how you're just looking at the entire sphere of esports really growing.
Yeah, I believe now Indian gamers and also larger sort of range of people in India taking esports as a serious, entertainment and serious industry. So I believe it has been now 6 years or 7 years since we have wider adoption of mobile internet. So that actually make people to enjoy esports without too much difficulty. There is a wider accessibility to the content. So I think now we are in the very tilting point that we are seeing more esports contents available to wider audience, and it's becoming more mature industry in general.
So, Karthik, is this a phenomenon that it's only going to grow?
So yeah, like these days, everyone is into organizing LAN events, offline events. Like we also did one LAN event recently in November. That was the first ever BGMI event, and it has shown a great response from the audience. Like we achieved over 160K live CCV on a social streaming platform, and over 12,000 people attended that event in the time span of 2 days. Similarly, one event BMPS happened, and over 60,000 people attended the event in Ahmedabad Eka Stadium. So, like esports is growing day by day, and these LAN events are making a move towards just like this. You see cricket, there are many people come and watch cricket in ground. So similarly, now people have started showing interest in esports as well. They want to come and join and see their favorite stars playing in ground, and they come in large number. And they even buy tickets and as well. Uh, listed out few tickets at some price as well, and many people purchase the ticket as well. So people are ready to pay over here to watch their favorite stars play in action. Like as you said, in competence to Western esports, like recently our one of our Indian team, Godlike Esports, won #2, were the #2 team in the global level in CODM World Championship. So yeah, esports in India is growing at a rapid pace, and like you will see a lot of growth by 2025, and there will be more and more LAN events on big scale where the stadium will be filled with the entire crowd. And
So, Karthik, can you give us a sense as to what tournament ecosystem focus points are going to be over the next few years?
so basically, key focus areas will be like we need to structure the events properly. Like as I have stated earlier as well, like online events, like the budget for the online event is around 15 to 25 lakhs. So it's easy to cover the online events price pool and executional cost through brands and streaming platforms sponsorship. But for an offline event, LAN event, like the budget goes around 2 CR to 3 CR for just 2 or 3 days event. So this requires a lot of money, and for this thing to cover, we need to bring more and more brands into esports scenario. So if we like last year, we have worked with more than 20 brands, and we are looking forward to work with around 40-50 brands this year. So like our motive is to get more and more brands and make them invest in esports, so that esports can grow at a good pace, and it will help like people who are investing a lot in esports, like team owners and esports organizers, to make some revenue and profits out of it. Like LAN events needs to get covered. Like the sponsorship needs to get covered in the upcoming future to scale up more and more LAN events in India. And for this, we need to unite together and pitch more and more brands and make them invest in esports, just like they invest in cricket, IPL, and ISL sort of thing. So basically, over here as well, we can give them much like good deliverables and visibility, and we can fulfill their KPIs, and we do fulfill their KPIs, which and at cheap like commercials than sports or Bollywood or etc. So brands who are already participating since last 4 to 5 years, they know that esports is the best way of advertising, and they get connected to their targeted audience at very cheap commercials. So if we get onboard more and more brands in upcoming future, this will help sustain the ecosystem very well.
So, Sean, when it comes to like a tournament like BGMI, what about your company in specific? How do you monetize this? How many subscribers do you really get on board?
Yeah, as I said earlier, I think people now, more people understand esports better and the potential of the esports. So it is very natural to see more larger players coming to the industry. I I believe that the esports will give more opportunities for sponsors and platforms and also publishers like us to build a bigger business in the industry. So I believe that we will see more activities in the market and especially by the bigger players like us.
Yeah, Karthik, that's something I want to understand from you as well in terms of how the tournament organizer really looks at monetizing it. Is it, ticketing, F&B? How exactly does it work?
So basically, for our business, as I said, like our model works like just like IPL. Like IPL is an IP owned by BCCI. So we similarly build IPs around esports with multiple gaming titles, and just like IPL, they sell their broadcasting right to some streaming platform. We also sell our broadcasting right of our IPs to different streaming platforms, and then we onboard title sponsor to it, powered by sponsors to it, and etc. So the like we can add multiple sponsors to one of our IP, and we build around 10 IPs per year. We produce around 10 IPs per year. So there's a chance that we can work with multiple brands over here, and then endemic and non-endemic, and like fulfill their KPIs, etc. Like last year, we have achieved over 120 million plus viewership on our social media streaming platform. That is a huge number. Until now, we have achieved over we have a gamer community of 1 million plus. So brands like to basically see return on investment ROI, and we deliver such and fulfill their KPIs through multiple ways, and we have multiple marketing strategies as well. And there's influencer marketing as well, where influencers like Mortal Scout who comes into play, and do brand campaigns for multiple global brands, and like they are the brands get good response from the integrations as well. So like brands are really looking into investing in esports, and like that is how our business runs. Like if brands are there, streaming platform are there, so we can produce more and more good IPs on good scale.
Right. And Sean, are fans really willing to pay when it comes to premium content?
So let me restart. So for example, we held 3 months long esports events called BGMI India series, which is open for any players, any BGMI players. So they can go through qualification rounds online, and if they can get selected, the final few dozens of teams, they can be on the offline events. So we held that BGMI India Series events in 2023. We received more than 200,000 applicants for the event, and also we had more than close to 7,000 teams, 70,000 teams entering the events. So that's the size of esports event can go at the current India gaming market. Talking about the monetization, in esports, esports monetization generally happens through sponsorship by big brands, and also media rights, which can happen on linear TV and digital platforms. So that's the two monetization. So we have heard from our investment company, Local, that they have started this esports streaming behind the paywall. It's still early stage, but we have seen very promising trends that people are actually starting to pay for exclusive esports contents on the digital platforms. So that's a very positive sign that we are seeing right now.
And given that estimates are talking about how esports and gaming is only expected to scale up to $100 million by FY28, how are you looking at the overall growth for esports as an industry in the country?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the size and the venue. I mean, the size of the venue, and also the location that where the event is happening. But I think if on the average, I think it would cost, I don't know, like less than somewhere around 100,000 to like 500,000 US dollar for 3-day or 1 week events if there is an audience. So there are certain LAN events which is happening without too many audience because of venue limitations and etc. But I'm just mentioning about this budget for like sizable audience.
And Karthik, walk us through some of the big trends that you see when it comes to esports, professionally, e-gaming industry. What are some of the challenges as well?
So basically, there are few challenges which are like people are working on, the community guys are working on. First of all, we need to spread awareness to the audience about esports, and it's also a career option. Secondary, we have a challenge to face with the government. We need to showcase or set example to government that they should also start investing in esports from their end, and like prepare some good just like cricket, they need to start some state level competitions and national level competitions from their end in esports, which few of the government have already started. We did Bihar also introduced esports, and they are building an academy. Like myself personally met Mr. Tejasvi Yadav, Deputy CM of Bihar, and we inaugurated esports in Bihar Conclave 2.0, and we played a vital role in Madhya Pradesh Academy lineup tournament as well, where 40,000 people registered. So if more such like states come into play, and like esports is also included in Olympics. So like if more and more states get involved in this, and they like try to build esports from grassroots level, from state level, then this might help a lot. Last year we got featured on Shark Tank India as well. So our motive was to completely spread awareness about esports, and we were somehow we somehow was successful in created in the awareness, spread awareness about the same. Like we keep on building collegiate level IPs for esports in different colleges and different regions, so that we can spread more awareness about esports, and the youth, the younger audience gets to know that the gaming and games are just not for the time pass. You can also build a career into it. So like if we set right example to the youth, and spread right awareness and show them a path, so this will help boost the esports industry well, and shape in it well. And if government also comes into play, then 100 million is very much achievable, and we can cross that as well in upcoming time.
All right, thanks very much, both Karthik as well as Sean, for joining in and giving us a deeper insight into esports. Let's move right on then, and Nykaa's parent, that's FSN e-commerce, has been in the spotlight in trade. The company has rolled out a very positive business update for the quarter gone by, saying that there's been consistent growth in the three business verticals, even as there has been some impact on discretionary consumption, which has been in the short term. Let's take it across to Vinny, who joins in with the latest updates. Vinny.
So absolutely, in terms of Q3 FY24 updates that have come in from Nykaa, beauty personal care in line with what the street was expecting from the operational update. Fashion, that's been a beat, and given and considering how other apparel companies are doing, Nykaa seems to be holding on to better performance in the fashion segment. Now, performance in line for the BPC segment, fashion beat on positive front, especially, given that, apparel segment has not been doing quite well. Obviously, what we're seeing is BPC segment's vertical GMV growth for the quarter is expected to be in mid-20s. The NSV growth is around 20% on a YOY basis as well. And the company is highlighting that the difference between the GMV as well as the gross merchandise value as well as the net sales value is primarily due to the pricing and discounting that is there in the mass as well as masstige categories. So that is a difference that is causing the factor as well. Other than that, in fashion industry as well, the consumption trend has remained muted, and they've not seen anything of an uptick that has come in because of the festive season. But Nykaa's fashion segment has actually, overall, they're highlighting that they've seen a better growth, witnessed a strong growth as well. And when you look at it, fashion verticals gross merchandise value is for the quarter is expected to be at around 40%, while NSV is expected to be in low 30s as well. So overall, a decent number that came in terms of operational updates from Nykaa. In line is what we could call it. So keeping an eye out on Nykaa.
Well, meantime, the IPO of Jyoti CNS Automation, that's going to be hitting the primary markets come tomorrow. Let's hear it out then from Prakash Karm Singh Jadeja, the Chairman Managing Director, talking about their plans to raise funds, hitting the public market and long-term growth roadmap.
So basically, we are into a manufacturing sector. Whatever the machines we are manufacturing is used for the manufacturing industries. This is the backbone of a manufacturing industry. These are the mother machines and mainly used for this metal cutting operations. And the customer sectors, if you look at that across the manufacturing, auto component, general engineering, valves, pumps, dies and molds, aerospace, defense. And now upcoming market code is the EMS. Yeah, that's our customer profiles like that.
Okay, so obviously, two things that interested me a lot was one in terms of aerospace as well as EMS, because EMS is really picking up pace as well, and so is aerospace, defense side, given that the pushes that is happening. So right now what I'm understanding is normally aerospace as a mix is 37% of your revenues.
Okay.
And going forward, how do you see this focus coming from aerospace as well as the EMS industries? In terms of order pipelines that you would see, is there more focus on these two industries basically, and would that change your mix going forward?
Yeah. So basically, right now we have a very robust order book, close to 3,300 crores is the order book, and out of that 1,900 crores are basically from the aerospace and defense sectors there, okay, and that too mainly in the central part of Europe there, okay, and furthermore in India, let's say Make in India and this all Atmanirbhar Bharat and all, this Indian manufacturing sectors also in aerospace are coming up there. All these ISRO, BrahMos, all the ordnance factories are our customers, and those are also is in business in pipe that sector there basically there. So apart from that, there is a new upcoming industries for us is growing, and let's say we are just beginning on that. There is a close to 300 crores worth of orders we have to manufacturing in terms of this all EMS sectors, and mainly on a mobile manufacturing and all like that.
Okay, so that is what, that will also start picking up pace. In terms of, when you compare margins of all this also, whether it's an aerospace versus EMS or other segments, where do you see, like in terms of margins, the higher margins for the company works out in which segment is the highest margin?
So the highest margin is always to be with us for aerospace and defense, because the machines are also very large. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So as you were mentioning that CNC is a specialized machinery that you're making, but what we are seeing here from the RHP is that over FY 23 to 27, the growth rate of this industry is just expected to be 10%. That's
globally.
Globally.
Yeah.
Where do you see Jyoti CNC's growth to be? Will it be more than 15% at least? Because that's what market likes, right?
So let's say I'll tell you one thing.
Okay.
Let's say this industry is globally, in terms of is a $80 billion size of industries. India is close to $3 billion, and India is growing, is more than 20%, and going to be grow more than 20% in there.
Okay. Now, if we see in the industry right now, hardly any listed players that are there that are in the similar line of business. But globally, there are multiple players that are there in the CNC industry that you were mentioning. So, how is the competitive intensity on the global level and in the domestic market as well?
So basically, in a domestic market, if you look at that, this industries are still dominated by the imported players, mainly Japanese and Germans. India is having a close to 65% is imports, and that's our opportunities are lying there.